Resources are quite scarce these days, so today I'm going to show you how to make the ultimate face mask. This mask has a filter pocket, it covers the chin and maybe a beard. It conforms to the edges of the faces as well. And today I'm going to show you many attachment methods, including an ear relief harness, a shoelace tie mechanism, no elastics, so let's get right to it. To begin, I have my fabric. It's nice to have cotton and a cotton polyester blend. Next, I need 4 layers of fabric, so I'm going to fold it accordingly. This is a pattern that I designed, so if you want to use it, you can print it out from the link in the description box. So basically, I'm just going to pin the pattern and cut it out. So for the filter pocket pattern, this arrow represents the direction in which the thread runs in on your fabric. So make sure to align those and then just pin it and cut it out again. For this pocket, you will need 2 layers of fabric. So now I'm going to begin to sew the pocket. I'm removing the pins and the pattern, and then I'm sewing along this nice curve, leaving about a ½ centimeter gap between the edge and the sewing line. Now you can use scissors or clippers to make little snippets along the seam allowance. This really enhances the 3D shape of the mask and gives a nice curve. So I'm going to open the pocket and sew right on top of the sewing line in the middle. Yet this is optional. So this is how it's looking so far. Then I'm going to fold the edges of the pocket and sew it in place. This just looks very nice. So this is what the pocket looks like before it's sewn to the mask. For structure, you can take an iron and press it down as you approach the middle. This really helps to make it look 3D. So now we can begin to make our ultimate face mask. I'm going to remove the pins and the pattern, and I'm going to grab one pair which has 2 layers and sew along the long curve. So I'm just going to repeat it with the other pair and then cut snippets again along the seam allowance for structure. Next up, this is totally optional, but I open the fabric and I sew a line that's a millimeter beside the middle, and this helps with both structure and aesthetics. So I'm just doing this to both pairs. Again, I'm taking my cute little iron and pressing it down, approaching the middle as shown here. Just like before, this helps a lot with the 3D structure of the mask. So now I'm taking my pocket and I'm taking the time here to really make sure that the centers of the pocket and the mask align perfectly. Now you can sew them together as shown. So again, making sure that everything aligns perfectly, and I like to secure it with a pin before I continue to sew. So now I'm sewing the bottom part of the filter pocket to secure it. Now you might be thinking that the pockets look a little small for the rest of the ultimate face mask, but trust me when I say that the filter pocket covers the nose and mouth region perfectly, and the remaining space is more for the chin and neck area. As you just saw, I placed the other pair on top of the inner portion with the pocket, and I made a nice top stitch along all of the edges until I've almost sewed a circle. At this point, I leave a 2-inch gap so that I can reach into it and flip it inside out. Now I'm going to iron the whole thing. I hope you like that transition. So now you can fold the bottom flap over, and it sort of looks like a little paper boat now, but you can just sew a top stitch along the bottom edge. Here I have 2 10-inch strips of elastic cut out for each side, and I'm going to fold the edge over the elastic and sew it. But if you don't happen to have any elastic, then stay tuned, because in just a minute, I'm going to show you how to do this exact same technique without elastic. Then fold the bottom flap over and encounter these corners and sew it just as I'm doing. And make sure to repeat this with the other side. Finally, I'm just sewing the edges of the elastic together, and you're going to slide the ugly exposed side into the fabric. Do the same with the other one and you're done. Now folks, this is the complete ultimate face mask. It fits really nicely on the face, and it feels even more protective than the other classic masks I've done on my channel. But keep watching, because next up I'm going to show you how to adapt this technique with no elastic, later with a comfortable shoelace tie mechanism, and lastly I will show the absolute ultimate contraption with a harness that provides a lot of ear relief. So if you want to mimic the elastic but you don't have any at home, no problem. Here I'm cutting out strips of an old t-shirt. The strips are 3/4 inches wide. I'm simply just repeating the final steps of the last segment, but just with my makeshift strips. In my honest opinion, I actually find this one a lot more comfortable to use instead of the elastics because they're like little pillows behind your ears, whereas the elastics can begin to irritate in the long run. Stay tuned because next I will show you how to use shoelaces to get a really nice grip, and at the very end I will show you how to make a harness, which is the most comfortable out of all of these. So this is what the shoelace mechanism looks like, and now I will show you how to attain this. So first begin with a shoelace that will be as long as you may need it. Mine is 45 inches long. I fold it perfectly in half so I can cut it right in the middle. And then I cut off two 1.5 inch little strips. So I take a little strip and sort of fold it into the semicircle that will be placed right under this flap I'm folding over. Then I'm sewing that and the flat end of the long strip like so. Next I'm going to fold the long strip in the other direction and sew over that too. Now just repeat this with the other side. Alright folks, we are almost done with this one, so I'm just showing here how you can feed the aglet of the shoelace through the loop on both sides, and this makes it super easy to tie behind the head. This mechanism is very nice because when it's tied behind your head, it makes the mask even tighter, but it's not uncomfortable in any way. Now is the absolute ultimate mask with the harness. This was my favorite out of all the methods because it was the most comfortable for me to wear and it felt really secure. So going back to the mask making, you fold the edges of each side over and sew it just like I did before. This time though, I'm going to fold the edges over shoelaces, not elastics, and I'm going to sew it in place. Then I'm encountering the corners and sewing it just like before. Okay, so now I'm cutting a decent amount off each end of the shoelace, and I'm sewing the ends together. I like to hide the ugly exposed sides. So now I'm grabbing this nylon webbing material, but you can honestly use whatever works for you. I will continue to show this method, but I will let you know that you can also make a harness with long elastics and a button behind the head. The average circumference of the human head is around 55 centimeters to 57 centimeters, so I'm measuring everything there to make sure it all works well. With nylon webbing, if you lightly hold the edges to a flame, it gives it a really nice finish. So now I'm folding the edge over and I'm sewing it to secure it in place. Finally, I'm grabbing this Velcro material that I have and I'm cutting it out so that the soft side is longer and that the hook side is shorter. Once this is all set, I can sew the Velcro pieces onto the edges of the straps. And there you have it! The absolute ultimate headband with a harness and filter pocket is complete. As I mentioned, this one feels so comfortable and secure. I love it. So here are all of the masks with different attachment methods shown. Again, we made this pattern based on our previous videos and feedback from people who use the old patterns. This is completely original. We would love for you all to print it out and give it a shot because it's definitely a step up from the classic masks. If you end up trying it, please post a picture with the hashtag #UltimateClothMask and tag us. We would love to see our pattern being put to good use. Times are really tough right now, so I hope this video was helpful. If you know anyone who would benefit from this video, please share this with them. If you're looking for quicker methods in this theme, please check out our previous videos. We have a tutorial on the classic mask, mask with filter pocket, and headbands with buttons. The links to all will be in the description box down below. If you guys have any other videos within this realm that you would like us to do, please let us know because we would love to help out. I know a lot of people have been suggesting a scrub cap with buttons, so please let me know if that's something that you're interested in. But otherwise, here I'm going to show you some pictures of different colors that you could make masks in. And it's so cool the variety that you can have when it comes to this realm. And I'm really trying to give you ideas because I know a lot of people right now are either donating some or selling some, so it's just important to be able to expand your repertoire with more products. I love interacting with all of you guys and getting your feedback, so if you would like, please comment down below which one is your favorite color, either out of the display that I'm showing right now or from earlier in the video. I also want that if you guys try out, let me know which one do you prefer. Do you prefer the elastics? Do you prefer the t-shirt, the shoelace mechanism, or the ultimate harness. Thank you all so much. Take care and stay safe.